Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the St. Paul Civic Center. Jesse Ventura, you can say what you want, any excuses, but the fact remains the loss tonight suffered by you and Steve Regal was entirely your fault.
You think so? Let me tell you something. Yeah, you were sitting right at ringside. Let me tell you something, my fault. I got my head dinged in there. Didn't know what was going on. My head spinning around. I can't see nothing. I don't know what's going on. And look at my partner, Steve Regal. Now you tell me, is he or is he not better looking than the two fabulous ones? Could he or could he not be mistaken for a fabulous one? You answer it. Well, he could, couldn't he?
There's a slight resemblance.
Slight nothing. Let me tell you something, Wally Carbo, and any other promoter throughout the entire AWA. I'm not finished with the fabulous ones, me and Mr. Electricity. But what I want is this, to avoid any such confusion like what happened here tonight. I want the fabulous ones with no beards. Cut their beards off. After all, it was Steve Regal who first came around here with suspenders on. It was Steve Regal who first had a beautiful beard and long blonde hair.
Let me ask, they had no problem distinguishing you two. It would make more sense to me for you two to cut your beards off.
You're crazy, man. No problem. Of course I'm 280 pounds. They're 210.
Well, fans, you heard the words of Jesse Ventura. I want to bring in these two gentlemen, Stan and Steve. The reception again tonight, tremendous. This time, you got the win, no question about it.
That's right, Killer Ken. Let me tell you something. Jesse the Body, I don't know where he got that name. It should be Jesse Nobody, because if there's nothing upstairs, that guy's lost his brains. He got in the ring tonight saying how he was going to wipe out the fabulous ones single-handed. But did he do it? No, he didn't do it. Instead, you know what he did? He caused us to win. Now, how smart is that, Jesse the Body? Let me tell you something. We've heard the challenges from him. We've heard all the comments from him. He's run Boy George into the ground. We're not interested in you, Jesse the Body, because you got nothing for us. And Steve Regal, we don't care nothing about no junior heavyweight belt. We're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's the world titles. And whoever's wearing them, you've got a challenge from the fabulous ones.
All right. World titles, pretty ladies, solid gold, baby. Let me tell you something. How could anybody think Steve Regal looks like the fabulous ones? Jesse Ventura better take those G.I. Joe shades off and that camouflage outfit and quit flexing, because, baby, we're here to stay and not to play. Woo!
Fans, you heard it, the words of the fabulous ones. Wrestling fans, I want to call in at this time Jesse the Body Ventura, the light heavyweight champion, Steve Regal. Jesse, if you will pardon me, I don't mean to make you angry, but it was very apparent to myself seated at ringside and everyone in that tremendous crowd last week at the St. Paul Civic Center, you, just plain and simple, made a mistake throwing Steve Regal, the fabulous ones, on top of Steve Regal, cost you the match.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, take a look at Steve Regal. Right here, you're looking at the original fabulous one. Look at that profile. Look at the blonde hair. Now, what happened out there was a pure case of mistaken identity. In the heat of the battle, everything's happening all around me. I can't tell Steve Regal from these other two guys. But now I've got a solution to that problem.
And what, man?
A real big solution, I'll tell you. Right now, where's Wally Carbo? Get Caribou in here. Wally Caribou, the promoter, get him in here.
I don't know what he wants.
Now I got something to tell you, Wally Carbo, so there's no more mistaken identity. Number one, I can beat either one of these fabulous ones by myself in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Or I could beat them both in 20 minutes. One after the other. Either way, Steve Regal out of the picture. You let me have these fabulous ones. That's the way there's no mistaken identity anymore.
You mean to tell me that you can beat either the fabulous one in 10 minutes?
That's right, 10 minutes. I will beat the fabulous one in 10 minutes, or I'll lose the match.
You got yourself a match.
All right. All right,
Well,
Steve, you sit back. You take it easy. Now, fabulous ones, there'll be no case of mistaken identity anymore, Jack.
Look at him.
Well, fans, you've got to wonder if perhaps the man with the giant arms may have bitten off more than he could chew this time. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good morning, Twin Cities. Ken Wrestling back with you right here on All-Star Wrestling. And some big things happening here in the AWA, not the least of which you've just seen. 6'6", 307-pound King Kong Brody in action. But Wally Carbo, promoter Wally Carbo, I understand something has transpired this past week concerning one Jesse Ventura.
Yes, last week he boasted he could beat the Fabulous Ones in 20 minutes. I says, you got yourself a match. Now listen to this brave Ventura, a telegram sent to me. Next day, here's what Ventura says. He is no longer wrestling for the AWA. He's through with it, and that's it.
You mean he's run out is what he's done?
Well, let me finish. I know Jesse Ventura. When he made the statement he could beat the fellas at 20 minutes, he got the match. He probably did a lot of thinking. Down deep inside, he thought this was a way out. He would have to face these fellas. I know you can call it one name or another name, but he found out something, that the AWA, like some other wrestlers found out, this is the toughest of all leagues, no matter what you hear. And Jesse pulled out, I would say, lack of courage or plain yellow.
He lost his nerve is what you're saying, Wally.
Well, I would say plain yellow in this case.
That, of course, Mr. Electricity, Steve Regal in action. As I told you, the latest on Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzell. They are both in serious condition. Both men have been taken to the hospital. I'm certain we'll hear more next week. The Fabulous Ones, you know them. Unbelievable, the events of today.
Well, that's true. You know, first of all, we'd like to say we're facing Bobby Duncombe and Legs Kirby. Well, before it was big, bad Jesse Ventura out here. He did all the running down about the Fabulous Ones. But when it got time to face us, and he was going to beat us so quick, 10 minutes apiece, I believe, he disappeared. Well, Bobby Duncombe, you're just another name on the list. And as for you, Legs Kirby, we're going to have to get you out of the way, because the reason we're here for those world straps, and they're just a stepping stone. But let my partner tell you about that 100,000.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Daddy, can you believe it? This was without a doubt the biggest, the richest battle royal the fans have ever been a part of. And we're so excited. You know what we could do with $100,000? Do you realize the kinds of parties the beautiful, lovely ladies we can bring in with all that money? That's what puts the diamond rings on your fingers, the big cars in your driveway, and all those girls. Oh, Daddy, $100,000. Steve and I, we know we're probably the smallest guys in there. This guy's 300 pounds and on up and up. But see, Steve and I wrestle as one. There's two of us. 230 apiece, brother. That's 460. So we're probably the biggest guys in there. And we are ready already. $100,000 in our bank account.
Oh, Daddy, 100,000.
Again, fans, truly the wrestling spectacular of the decade coming up here in St. Paul. That's all the time we've got. We'll see you again next week. So long, everybody.
Don't miss the $100,000 20-man battle royal. Last man remaining in that ring of the 20 men receives $100,000. This is the first time ever in the Twin Cities area a 20-man battle royal. 6 championship class matches will take place before the battle royal, including these men also: Abdullah the Butcher, King Kong Brody, the Great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the Bruiser, the Great Wilbur Snyder, 7-time world champion Harley Race, Blackjacks Mulligan and Lanza, King Kong Brody, Big Bad Bob Duncombe, Ayatollah Jerry Blackwell, the Crusher, the Baron, the Fabulous Ones, and the Mad Dog, plus others. Get your tickets now.